Moral stories in English. How to be confident. Once there was a boy named Adam who lived in a small village. He was kind, intelligent, and hardworking, but he lacked one thing: confidence. Whenever the teacher asked a question, Adam knew the answer, but he never raised his hand. He feared that others would laugh at him if he was wrong. One day, a new teacher named Mr. James joined the school. He noticed Adam's silence and decided to help him. After class, he gently asked, "Adam, why don't you speak in class?" Adam looked down and said, "Sir, I'm afraid people will laugh if I make a mistake." Mr. James smiled and said, "Adam, confidence is not about always being right. It's about believing that it's okay to be wrong sometimes. Mistakes help us grow." From that day, Mr. James started giving Adam small tasks: reading a paragraph, leading group discussions, or even helping others. Slowly, Adam began to speak. At first, his voice trembled, but Mr. James always encouraged him with a smile. One day, there was a speech competition. To everyone's surprise, Adam participated. When his name was called, he walked to the stage, took a deep breath, and began his speech. His words were simple, but his voice was clear. The audience clapped loudly when he finished. Adam didn't win the first prize, but something more important happened: he won back his confidence. From that day on, Adam believed in himself. He learned that confidence comes from trying, learning, and not giving up. Moral confidence is built step by step. Believe in yourself, take small actions daily, and never fear mistakes. That's how you become confident. Happy mind, happy life. In a quiet village surrounded by green hills, lived a man named Bilal. He wasn't rich. He didn't have a big house or fancy clothes, but he was always smiling. People often asked, "Bilal, why are you always so happy?" He would laugh and say, "Because I train my mind to be." One day, a visitor from the city came to the village. He had a sad face, heavy shoulders, and eyes full of stress. He asked Bilal, "How can you be happy with so little?" Bilal invited him for tea. They sat on a wooden bench under a tree. Birds chirped, wind whispered, and tea steamed gently. Bilal pointed to the birds. "They don't have jobs, money, or phones, but they sing every morning." He pointed to the sky. "It's the same sky above kings and beggars." Peace doesn't come from outside. It grows in a quiet mind. The visitor stayed for 3 days. He ate simple food, walked barefoot, and slept under the stars. On the third day, he smiled a real, deep smile. "I haven't felt this light in years," he said. Bilal nodded. A happy mind doesn't wait for a perfect life. It creates one right here, right now. From that day forward, the visitor changed. He returned to the city, but not with things, with thoughts. Peaceful ones, grateful ones. And he would often whisper to himself, "Happy mind, happy life."
The letter he never meant to send. In a small town filled with busy lives and quiet regrets, lived a shy teenager named Harris. He wasn't popular or outgoing. He loved books, quiet walks, and writing letters he never sent. Harris had a secret: he liked a girl named Anaya, who sat 2 rows ahead of him in school. She was kind, always smiling at everyone. But Harris never had the courage to talk to her. So, he wrote her letters. Not just 1 or 2, but 23 letters over 2 years. He wrote about his day, about his dreams, about how her laugh made him feel less alone. But he never planned to give them to her. He kept them in a showbox under his bed. One evening, while cleaning his room, his little brother accidentally dropped the box, and one letter slipped into Harris's school bag without him noticing. The next day, Harris left his bag on the desk and went to the washroom. When he came back, Anaya was holding the letter. His heart froze. She looked at him, not with anger, not with embarrassment, but with soft eyes and a gentle smile. "I read it," she whispered. He couldn't speak. "It was beautiful," she said. "And I've been waiting for you to talk to me." That one letter, the one he never meant to send, changed everything. They started talking. Slowly. Then walking home together. And then writing letters, this time to each other. Years later, at their wedding, Anaya pulled out an old, folded paper and read a few lines from it. The guest smiled. Harris smiled. And he whispered to himself, Sometimes the words you're most afraid to share are the ones that open the right door. Moral: the heart speaks louder when we are honest, even by accident. The lunchbox that changed a life. In a busy city school, a boy named Hamza sat quietly at the back of his classroom. He was always polite, always present, but always hungry. Every day at lunch, while others opened colorful lunchboxes filled with sandwiches, fruits, and snacks, Hamza just sipped water from an old bottle. He never complained. He never asked. But his eyes always wandered to the food. One afternoon, a classmate named Ali noticed Hamza staring at his sandwich. Ali hesitated, then split it in half. "Want some?" he asked casually. Hamza blinked. "Are you sure?" Ali smiled. "Yeah. My mom says food tastes better when you share." From that day on, Ali shared his lunch with Hamza every day, quietly, without making a scene. One day, he even brought 2 full lunchboxes. Years passed. The boys grew up, went to different colleges, and lost contact. But one evening, as Ali sat in a hospital waiting room, tired, worried about his mother's surgery, a doctor approached him. "Ali," the doctor asked. "Yes?" The doctor smiled warmly. "I'm Dr. Hamza, the boy you used to share your lunch with." Ali was stunned. "You once fed me when I had nothing," Hamza said. "Let me take care of the one who gave me everything." Moral: kindness may seem small today, but it can come back years later, bigger, brighter, and life-changing. Once in a bustling town, there lived a quiet boy named Zayan. He didn't have toys, gadgets, or shiny clothes. But he had something no one else had: a small, handmade wooden box and a strange ability. Every morning, Zayan would sit at the corner of the market with a sign: "Time for sale, 10 minutes for 1 coin." People laughed. Who would buy time from a boy? But one old man, curious, dropped a coin and said, "Okay boy, give me 10 minutes. Zayan nodded, smiled, and said, "Sit. Just breathe. Don't think about work, bills, or your phone. Just enjoy these 10 minutes. The old man Saturday. For the first time in years, he listened to the birds, watched the clouds. He smiled like a child. When the 10 minutes ended, he said, "That was the best time I've had in years." Soon, word spread. Zayan's spot was always full, not with rich people, but with tired souls. A mother came to feel peace between chores. A teacher came to forget her worries. Even the mayor showed up one day, just to sit and breathe. Zayan didn't give them anything magical. He gave them permission to pause, to slow down, to be present. When asked why he did this, he simply said, "People run all day to save time, but forget to live in it." As years passed, Zayan became a legend in the town. Not for his wealth, but for teaching people the true value of time. Moral of the story: sometimes the greatest gift you can give is a moment of peace.
The donkey who opened a bakery. In a busy little town called Kushnagri, there lived a donkey named Dodo. But Dodo wasn't an ordinary donkey. He had a big dream. He wanted to become a baker. While other donkeys carried sacks of flour, Dodo dreamed of baking cakes with that flour. He imagined making creamy cupcakes, soft bread, and golden cookies shaped like carrots. One day, Dodo said, "Enough is enough. I won't carry flour anymore. I will bake with it." The other animals laughed so hard, they rolled on the ground. "You're a donkey, not a chef. Your ears are too long for a kitchen. Your hooves can't hold a spoon." But Dodo didn't care. He borrowed a stove from a kind cow, got some sugar from a sleepy sheep, and even took baking lessons from a cat who once worked in Paris. Yes, the real Paris. Or maybe just Parichoke. After many burnt cookies and one exploding cake, he finally made the perfect bread, so soft, so warm, it could make a lion purr. He named his bakery Dunkelicious Delights. Soon, lines formed outside. The mayor ordered 5 carrot cakes. The school teacher wanted oat muffins, and even the grumpy old goat became a fan. Dodo became famous. TV channels came to interview him. One reporter asked, "What's your secret, Chef Dodo?" Dodo smiled and said, "Simple, never doubt a donkey with a dream and a rolling pin." Moral of the story: don't let anyone decide your limits. Even a donkey can rise like bread if he dares to knead.
The chicken who wanted to go to school. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived a very curious chicken named Chico. Now Chico was not like other chickens. While the rest were busy scratching the ground and gossiping about corn, Chico had one dream. "I want to go to school." The other chickens laughed. "School is for humans," clucked one. "You'll end up in chicken soup," said another. But Chico was determined. One morning, wearing a tiny red backpack made from a sock, he marched toward the village school. When the children saw him, they screamed with joy. "A talking chicken?" "No, a walking student," Chico said proudly. The teacher, Miss Honey, was confused. "Why are you here, little chicken?" "To learn ABCs and how not to become a burger," Chico replied seriously. Surprisingly, Miss Honey agreed. And so, Chico became the first chicken student in history. He sat on a pile of books, raised his wing to answer questions, and even helped the class with spelling. "How do you spell egg?" "Easy, me." But one day the lunch bell rang, and Chico disappeared. "Oh no!" cried the students. "Did someone cook Chico?" Luckily, Chico was found in the library, reading a book titled 101 Ways to Avoid the Frying Pan. From that day on, Chico became a local hero, not just for being smart, but for proving that even a chicken can chase its dreams, as long as no one's hungry. Glow up or give up? A story of surviving the modern world. In a noisy city full of bright lights and loud phones, lived a young woman named Ariba. She was smart, hardworking, and always on the go. From sunrise to midnight, her life was a blur of alarms, meetings, traffic, deadlines, and notifications. She had hundreds of followers but felt alone. She had money but no peace. One night, as she sat in her apartment scrolling endlessly through social media, a simple quote flashed across her screen. "Don't lose yourself in a world that's trying to change you." She paused. Her hands stopped. Her heart beat slower. That night, Ariba couldn't sleep. She kept asking herself, "Am I living? Or just surviving?" The next morning, instead of her usual routine, she did something different. She turned off her phone. She stepped outside. The city was still busy, but the sky was beautiful. The birds were still singing. The wind still danced in her hair. She walked to the park. She smiled at strangers. She sat by a small tree and breathed deeply for the first time in years. There, she met an old woman sitting quietly. They talked. The woman said, "Peace doesn't come from the outside. It grows from inside you." Ariba listened, and something inside her began to change. From that day on, she created balance. She worked but took breaks. She used social media but didn't let it control her. She chased dreams but didn't forget her soul. Months later, Ariba started her own wellness blog to help others like her. It was called Glow Up. Don't give up. She shared her journey, her mistakes, her healing. Thousands followed her, not just for content, but for connection. Moral of the story: in the fast world we live in, don't forget who you are. Surviving is not enough. Choose to live, to glow and to grow. So, what will you choose? Will you glow up or give up? New words learned. 1. Blur, something unclear or difficult to see clearly. 2. Notifications, messages or alerts from a device. 3. Quote, a short, meaningful sentence or saying. 4. routine, regular way of doing things. 5. Wellness, the state of being healthy and peaceful. The talking turtle. A magical secret that changed everything. In a quiet village near a shimmering lake, Sagir, a poor yet kind-hearted boy, spent his days fishing to help his family. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, he felt a sudden tug on his fishing net. Pulling it up, he gasped it wasn't a fish, but a small turtle with a golden shell. As Sagir reached out to touch it, a tiny voice whispered, "Please set me free, and I'll share a secret with you." Sagir's eyes widened. "You can talk." The turtle blinked. "Only to those with pure hearts. Release me, and your kindness will be rewarded." Though puzzled, Sagir gently placed the turtle back into the water. With a flick of its golden shell, it disappeared beneath the waves. The next morning, as Sagir cast his net, he gasped in shock. His net was overflowing with golden fish. He rushed home, and soon, his family had more food than they had ever dreamed of. Word spread quickly. The villagers, amazed by Sagir's luck, crowded around the lake. A greedy merchant, known for his cunning ways, smirked. "A talking turtle, you say? I must have it." That night, the merchant set out with a large net. The moment he touched the water, the lake rumbled and a deep voice echoed. "Greed destroys, but kindness multiplies." Dark clouds swirled, lightning cracked, and the merchant's boat capsized. He barely made it to shore, trembling. Realizing their mistake, the villagers vowed to protect the lake and its creatures. As for Sagir, he and his family lived a life of happiness and abundance, all because of one act of kindness. But no one ever saw the talking turtle again. Or did they? Moral of the story: true wealth comes from kindness, not greed. When you help others selflessly, the universe finds a way to reward you. The Stranger's Gift, a Price to Pay. Late at night, Adam sat on a park bench, staring at the empty street. His life was falling apart. He lost his job, had no money, and felt completely hopeless. Just then, a stranger appeared. He wore a long coat, his face hidden under a hat. "Stranger, you look troubled, my friend." "Adam, I have nothing left." "No job, no money. Just bad luck." The stranger smiled and reached into his coat. He pulled out a small wooden box and handed it to Adam. "Stranger, take this. It will change your life. But remember, every gift comes with a price." Before Adam could ask anything, the stranger disappeared into the night. Adam rushed home and opened the box. Inside, he found a golden coin. Confused, he placed it on his table. The next morning, his phone rang. Bank manager. "Mr. Adam, there was an error in our system. You have received $10,000 in your account." He started using the golden coin whenever he needed something. And every time, something good happened. He got a high-paying job. He won a brand new car. He found a beautiful house. Life was perfect. Or so he thought. One night, Adam found himself staring at the coin. He whispered, "What else can I get?" But just then, his phone rang. "Doctor," panicked voice. "Sir, your friend met with an accident. We couldn't save him." Adam froze. His best friend was gone. A terrible thought crossed his mind. Was this the price of his wish? Shaken, he decided to never use the coin again. But life had other plans. The next day, his boss fired him without reason. His car suddenly broke down. His house caught fire. Everything he gained was disappearing one by one. Desperate, he grabbed the golden coin and ran back to the park. He shouted, "Stranger, where are you? Take this back." A voice whispered in the wind, "There is no going back. The price must be paid." Adam collapsed. realizing the truth. The gift was never free. Every wish came at a cost. And now he had nothing left. Moral of the story: be careful what you wish, for greed always comes with a price. New words to learn: stranger, a person you don't know. Greed, wanting too much. Collapse, to fall down suddenly. Whisper, to speak in a soft voice.